And everyone joining us live for today's Nithyananda Yoga session. Let's all settle down with our head, neck, and spine in a straight line. We are going to be beginning very short. We are going to be beginning now with the Sadguru Vandanam, where we are going to invoke the presence of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. So you can sit in a cross-legged position on the ground as much as you can. Bring both your palms in front of your heart center in the Namaskara Mudra. Close your eyes in a space of deep gratitude as we begin with the Sadguru Vandanam.
Nithyanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami.
Now we'll be doing the Shivamula Mantra Japa, where we are going to be connecting to that cosmic source of energy, Paramashiva, as we do the Nithyananda Yoga session today. So we'll be chanting the Shivamula Mantra Japa. We request all the participants to chant it internally. We'll be doing it 11 times. You can chant it internally within your inner space as the Manasa Japa. Chanting it inside the inner space is considered as the highest form of Japa. And we'll be chanting it out loud such that it's easy for each of you to follow along. Om
Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha.
Om Ham
Haum Shivaya Namaha. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha. Om Ham Haum Shivaya Namaha.
Next is the Tattvachamanam, the ritualistic cleansing of the body and mind to become a pure vessel to receive Paramashiva's energy. Now start with your right hand in the Gokarna Mudra, bending your index finger, slightly cupping your palm. Take an Uddharani of water, put it in the center of your palm. Sip the water through the base of your palm 3 times along with the mantra Swadha. Om Atma Tattvam Shodhayami Swadha. Om Vidya Tattvam Shodhayami Swadha. Om Shiva Tattvam Shodhayami Swadha. Wash your hands. With the base of the right hand thumb, wipe your upper and lower lip twice from the right to the left. Om Ham Hridayaya Namaha. Wash your hands with the tips of the right hand index, middle and ring finger joined together. Touch above your upper lip, below your lower lip. Wash your hands. With the tips of the right hand, thumb and index finger joined together, touch your right nostril, left nostril. With the tips of the right hand, thumb and ring finger joined together, touch your right eye, right ear and left ear. Wash your hands. And with the base of the right hand, thumb and little finger joined together, now touch your navel center, right chest and left chest. And with all the fingers of your right hand joined together, touch the top of your head, right shoulder, left shoulder, and your heart center. And now we're going to be doing the Sankalpa, creating our conscious intention to what we want to manifest during today's Nithyananda Yoga session. You can place your right hand over your left, clasping both your palms together on top of your right thigh. Sit with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Close your eyes and create a powerful conscious intention to manifest a yogic body, perfectly healthy, strong limbs, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva, whereby your reality is simply manifesting exactly the way you want it to be. And with that, we will be chanting the Sankalpa mantra.
ममोपात समस्त दुरितक्षयद्वारा भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थम् श्री नित्यानंदेश्वरी परमशिव शक्ति समेत श्री नित्यानंदेश्वर परमशिव प्रीत्यर्थं च अद्य पूर्वोक्त एवं गुण विशेषेण विशिष्टायाम् अस्यां शुभतिथौ पूरण आरोग्ययुक्त दृढगात्र यौगिक शरीर सिद्ध्यर्थं परमशिव शक्ति आविष्करणार्थं नित्यानंद योगाभ्यासं करिष्ये.
Wash your hands off with some water. Om
Upasprishya.
Take a moment to place your Panchapatram far away from you so that it doesn't disturb you during today's Nithyananda Yoga session. And with that, we are now going to be entering. Today, we're going to enter into the yoga sequence where we're going to be doing the Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama part 1. So we're going to be going from asana 200 to asana 300, a complete 100 asana sequence. So we hope all of you continue to stay along as we go through, and also during the session, if you have any doubts, you want any further guidance, you can post it in the YouTube live chat and we will definitely help you, reach out to you such that you are able to get the best yoga experience. So let's first now come to a seated position with your right heel pressing into your perineum and your left foot placed over the opposite thigh in Savitri Asana. Resting your palms on the respective knees with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Do the Shambhavi Mudra, gently focus the inner awareness through the eyes, soft and steady, maintaining alertness without tension. Samana Kumbhaka, inhale deeply, visualize heat, flames, raising up along the spine. Maintain awareness of that digestive fire at the navel center, holding the breath as long as comfortable. Clench your perineum firmly, tucking inwards without tension in the Mula Bandha. As you gaze towards your third eye, visualize Goddess Savitri, radiant and steadfast, illuminating awareness with the brilliance of the sun in Savitri Asana.
जीमनो पग मोड़ी पग थली की माहिली कोर परी मूल द्वार टेकी भैसे.
The next is Vajrasana Chatur. So now you're going to continue to sit with your right heel at the perineum and left foot across the right thigh and placing your hands onto the respective knees with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Now, as you will know, as you have seen, there are many components that we are integrating. It's not just about the physical posture. So what I recommend each of you to do to find it easy to integrate all the components without getting confused or without losing one is, as I'm saying it, incorporate it into your asana. So like when I say the mudra or the kumbhaka or the bandha, immediately do it and hold it there as you engage the further components to be able to be successful in the asana. Especially for these seated asanas, they are more easy for us to engage all the components and focus on the various other components of Nithyananda Yoga, which are each designed to seal the energy leakage from various layers of our consciousness. So coming into the Shambhavi Mudra, focusing the inner awareness through the eyes, maintaining alertness without tension. Samana Kumbhaka, heat and flames raising up along the spine as you inhale, holding as long as comfortable before exhaling. Uddiyana Bandha, so here you're going to be sucking your stomach in and up behind your spine. Your navel is coming towards your spine as you clench your perineum. Again, the Mula Bandha will be constant throughout the sequence as well as the Japa. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham at the throat center. Gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself as the indestructible weapon of Indra, sharp, unwavering, and unstoppable.
सव्येन कन्दं प्रिपीड्य चान्यं पादं तु लिङ्गोपरि निक्षिपेत वज्रं सदा प्राणजये च सिद्धं ग्रीवातनुं मस्तकसमस्तशस्तम्.
Now, coming into Siddhasana Trini, the perfect pose 3. We are now going to be entering into our next asana. So you can continue to be seated with the right heel pressing against the perineum and the left foot over the right thigh. Do the Shambhavi Mudra. Samana Kumbhaka, here we're going to do the Mahamudra Bandha. So if you notice from the previous asanas, the bandhas have been changing. The bandhas are the inner energy locks to redirect the flow of prana to the right parts of your body, which is generally we always redirect the prana flow towards our navel center, the digestive fire, such that our life energy can get metabolized to become energy for our entire body. So Mahamudra Bandha, you're going to be sucking your perineum in and up, clenching your, sucking in your stomach, bringing your chin to the chest. Gazing towards your third eye, visualize yourself as a Siddha Yoga master, calm, radiant and fully realized.
अथ भासमानप्रयोग अथ सिद्धासनं योनिस्थानकमध्यमूले घटितं सम्पीड्य गुल्फेतरं मेध्रोपरि अथ सविधा चिबुकं कृत्वा हृदि स्थापितम्.
The next asana is Brahmasana. So now, keeping your legs in the same position, rest one palm cupped over your knee with the other palm cupped on top of it. So you can cup your palms on top of your left knee, on top of your right knee. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, gently focus the inner awareness through the eyes, soft and steady, maintaining alertness without tension. Samana Kumbhaka, continuing to engage the Mahamudra Bandha, clenching your perineum, sucking in your stomach, bringing your chin to the chest. Gaze towards your nose with the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize Lord Brahma in your inner space, seated upon the lotus of creation in Brahmasana.
पद्मं ब्राह्मं सिद्धासनं स्वास्तिकं वज्रासनं बद्धकोनं भद्रपीठं मूलबन्धं तथैव च.
The next asana is Muktasana Dve, Liberation Pose 2. So now you're going to be bringing your legs into the Padmasana position with each foot on the opposite thigh. So now this Padmasana position is a very important position that comes throughout various Nithyananda Yoga sequences. So we request all of you to try it. What you're going to do is, first you can extend out both your legs straight forward. And then, so the first what you're going to do is, you're going to lift up one of the legs. It can be any one, your left or your right, and place it at the root of the left thigh, of the opposite thigh. So you're placing the back of your foot on the thigh and the knee is going to rest. Try to rest the knee on the ground. So you can push your hands over your knees if you need to rest it lower. And then you can cross the other leg on top as well using the support of your hands. So that's how we are coming into the Padmasana position. Place your hands on your knees comfortably as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Samana Kumbhaka, and the Mula Bandha. Visualize your soul liberated by the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, ascending beyond all corporeal constraints in Muktasana Dve.
मुक्तासने स्थितो योगी मुद्रां सन्धाय शाम्भवीं शृणुया दक्षिणे कर्णे नादमन्तस्तमेकदा.
The next is Valmikasana Dve, the anthill pose 2. Now you're going to be continuing to sit with your right heel against the perineum, left foot on the opposite thigh, as we had been doing in the previous asanas. So then bring your hands onto your knees. This time we are going to be doing a powerful mudra, the Bindu Mudra. So the function of the mudras is to prevent the leakage of life energy. When we sit in the asana, we power the asana with our pranayama. We seal that life energy we have inhaled through the pranayama, through the mudras, redirect that prana flow through the bandhas, and manifest it as a reality through the visualization. So every component is equally important towards the Nithyananda Yoga. So here in the Bindu Mudra, touching your index finger and thumbs together on top of your knees, do the Samana Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze to your third eye. With the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, visualize yourself sitting so still and unmoving that an anthill begins to form around you, embodying the deep transformation of sage Valmiki, the author of Ramayana, in Valmikasana Dve.
बैसी करी डावा पग की पगतली एडी बारली पनादिसी मोड़ी जीमनो पसाते लगावे.
Now coming into the Ghora Kanjali Asana. So now we are coming more into our dynamic asanas. You can stand up now and you're going to be, from here you're going to interlace your hands into the Parashmudra around your knees. So you can lean forward, bring your hands around your knees and interlace them in the Parashmudra. Lower your hips down and keep your hands interlaced near the navel center. Here you're going to do the Jiva Chala Kumbhaka. Inhale. Then, using the power of your mind, forcefully direct that life energy through all the limbs of your body, upward and downwards, clenching your perineum in the Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. So if you're finding it a little difficult to balance here, engage that Mula Bandha, it will help you to gain the balance. Visualize Gorakhnath within your inner space, radiant with tapas and unshakable wisdom.
प्रथम ही उबो होय बहुरी नीचो पुनि होवै दो कर दो जंग मदिनी की विधि पहुंचे.
Next is Kanchyasana. So we're going to be having a series of squat asanas. Try to stay in the squat as much as you can. As we enter into Kanchyasana, you're going to be bringing your hands underneath your hips from behind you and interlacing the fingers in the Parashmudra over there. Try to stay with your heels on the ground as you keep your chest open and tall. Do the Jiva Chala Kumbhaka and the Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself in the specially chosen posture, embodying deliberate focus and refined awareness.
उरुमध्यात् हस्तौ निवेश्य नितम्बं धृत्वा पादतलाभ्यां भूमिमवष्टभ्य तिष्ठेत् काञ्च्यासनं भवति.
And next is Bhairu Asana. So this is where you can keep your knees together. Bring your knees together in front of you and try to keep your heels grounded if you can, interlacing your hands behind your back in the Parashmudra. And balancing here, if you need to gain balance, you can lightly balance onto your toes, but if you can, try to keep your heels grounded, doing the Jiva Chala Kumbhaka Mula Bandha. Gaze towards your tip of your nose. Visualize Lord Kala Bhairava within your inner space, radiating eternal vigilance and fearlessness.
दो पग की तलिया की माहिली कोर मिलाए पानी उकड़ मरु वैसे दौन्यो एरी योनिस्थान राशे.
Next is Varahasana. For this asana, you can lightly step your feet apart such that you can keep the heels completely flat onto the ground and bring your palms from above to hold on in the Namaskara Mudra behind your back with the palms each against each other. Doing the Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself as Varaha, the boar incarnation of Lord Vishnu, powerful and grounded in Varahasana.
पगताली की माहिली कोर मिलाई पानी उकड़ वैसे एरी मूल द्वार नीचे राशे जामगा छिद्र अंगुल चारी अंतर.
Now we're coming into the Prishthasana, the back pose. So this is going to engage our thigh muscles. You can bring your hands around your big toes into the Prana Mudra with your index and middle fingers wrapped around one side and the thumb wrapped around the other. Lower your hips down to a 90-degree angle. So here it's very important you get the right engagement of this asana. So what you're going to do is you can lower your hips down such that your thighs are parallel towards the ground. So your knees and your thighs are forming a 90-degree angle. This is how you're going to be attempting to do the asana as much as you can, where you're going to be engaging the thigh muscles and holding. You can bring your torso completely flat against your thighs and hold here in the Prishthasana, doing the Jivachala Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, visualizing your spine as a resilient bridge, arcing gracefully with strength and flexibility.
अथ उत्तानशनानि पार्ष्णिद्वय सम्मील्य स्थित्वा नितम्बं जानप्रदेश आनीय तिष्ठेत पृष्ठासनं भवति.
And now coming into Bakasana, this is going to be an arm balance pose which we are going to be entering into. So you're going to bring your palms flat onto the ground. Here we request you to all do this asana carefully as we bring your knees to the back of your elbows, leaning forward and down, and slowly one by one you can lift your feet off the ground. Do it carefully. Keep your chin lifted so that you do not tumble forward, and hold yourself here doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Jiva Chala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a crow, sharp-eyed, perceptive and exceptionally intelligent. One thing that you can do here is place something under your feet to raise them up and then bring your palms onto the ground. So you're getting that support in the initial level for something to balance under your feet, and then one by one you can take out what you have placed under such that you're able to balance there.
हस्ताभ्याम मणिवम् अवस्तम्भ जानुद्वयं नाभौ सम्मील्य जङ्घा उरुनी संस्थाप्य तिष्ठेत् बकासनं भवति.
The next is going to be an inverted asana. If you have any medical health conditions or if you are a female body on your monthly cycle, refrain from doing this Shishtanga Kapali asana, which is a headstand pose. For those of you who want to attempt this asana, ensure you are doing it carefully with a wall, with a partner's support to spot you. Ensure there are no obstacles around you and you have a soft surface in case you lose your balance. Okay, so for this asana we're going to be coming into an inverted position. You're going to be bringing your head onto the ground and palms spread wide apart, forming a tripod like position. First you can lift your legs straight up towards the sky and then cross your feet onto your opposite thighs in the Padmasana position and hold here doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. You're going to be gazing to your nose, visualizing your head as a fortress, resilient and invulnerable, safeguarding awareness and consciousness in Shishtanga Kapali Asana.
आसन कौगुण कपाल आचो होई.
And slowly relax down once you're done with this asana, coming to a kneeling position. Good job for attempting this asana. And don't worry, even if you found that you are not able to balance on your own, you can always start with the wall, start with taking the support of someone who can help you, and progress from there one by one, inch by inch, trying to hold it first for, let's say, 2 seconds off the wall, and then 3 seconds, 4 seconds, increasing from there till you're able to gain your balance. And now you can sit onto your knees in the Gupta asana with your hips back onto the heels and placing your hands on top of your knees comfortably. Do the Jiva Jala Kumbhaka. Do the Mula Bandha. Gaze towards your nose. Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself seated in the secret seat, Paramashiva and your Guru radiating presence within your inner space.
जानोर्वोरन्तरे पादौ कृत्वा पादौ च गोपयेत् पादोपरि च संस्थाप्य गुडं गुप्तासनं विदुः.
Now coming into Dhruvasana, the pole star pose, we can come up to a standing position. Now you're going to be shifting your weight onto one leg. And here you can shift your weight, let's say first onto your left leg, lifting your right leg up. Bring your right hand around the right leg in the Prana Mudra with the index and middle fingers, clasping around the big toes. And you can stretch your leg out completely to the side and rotate in the opposite direction. So since you have your right leg stretched out, you're going to be rotating towards your left and standing on your feet, doing the Prana Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka. Sahaja Kumbhaka is inhaling deeply through the nose, holding the breath comfortably, then release through the nose, normal breathing with deep awareness. Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as a radiant star spinning with controlled brilliance in Dhruvasana.
एकेन हस्तेन दण्डरूपस्य एकस्य पादस्याग्रं धृत्वा इतरपादतलं भूमौ निधाय त्वरया भ्रमणं कर्तव्यं ध्रुवासनं भवति.
And repeating the Dhruvasana on the other side now. You can shift your weight onto your right leg, lifting your left leg out towards your side as straight as you can and rotating towards the right direction this time. Doing the Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha, visualizing yourself as a radiant star spinning with controlled brilliance.
एकेन हस्तेन दण्डरूपस्य एकस्य पादस्याग्रं धृत्वा इतरपादतलं भूमौ निधाय त्वरया भ्रमणं कर्तव्यं ध्रुवासनं भवति.
From here now we're coming into the Trivikramasana, the 3 steps pose. Standing tall, you're going to ground one foot and lift the opposite leg to place it behind your neck. So here you're going to try and bring one leg behind your neck. So as you can see how this is going to be done, you're going to be bringing one leg behind your neck and you're going to be sitting down and standing up. So this is going to be a dynamic motion, a deep advanced stretch. So you can first try to bring your leg up towards your chest. If you can, try to place it behind your neck, and then you can lower down to a seated position and you can come back up to a standing position doing the Shambhavi Mudra. Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize Lord Vishnu residing in your heart, serene and radiant. If you cannot bring your leg behind your head, you can just place it on over your upper arm.
एकेन पादेन स्थातव्यम् उत्थातव्यं ताण्डवासनं भवति.
Slowly relaxing the foot as we repeat on the other side. So now you can switch around the legs as we do the Trivikramasana on the other side. Lifting the foot behind the neck. Do it slowly and steadily. If you cannot, hold it towards your chest or over your shoulder and sit and stand up as we do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize Lord Vishnu residing in your heart, serene and radiant in Trivikramasana Parshvantare.
एकेन पादेन स्थातव्यम् उत्थातव्यं ताण्डवासनं भवति. ग्रीवायां पादं संस्थाप्य स्थातव्यम् उत्थातव्यं त्रिविक्रमासनं भवति.
And now slowly relax. So from here now we're entering into our next asana, which is the Vrikshasana Dve. So this is again going to be an inverted position, a handstand position, where you're going to now be coming, placing your palms flat onto the ground. Again, we request you to please do this very carefully as it is an advanced asana. Do it with a wall, a partner support. If you are not confident and you do not have someone to support you, refrain from doing the asana. So in this asana, you're going to be coming up to a handstand position with your hands grounded and feet lifted towards the sky as you continue to do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a mighty tree, roots extending deep into the earth, anchoring you with stability.
सप्तचक्रक्षालनाय वृक्षासनविशेषकान् जननेन्द्रियदार्ढ्य कोणभेदान् समभ्यसेत्.
And from here, switching your gaze towards your third eye as we do the Shibu Asana. So you can again come back into a handstand position. Where you're going to be gazing towards your third eye, doing the Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize Tejas, radiant life energy, streaming into your third eye, igniting clarity and insight in Shibu Asana.
धूपक जोई माही गुल प्रमिलाई उभौ हो ये दो हाथ जाओ संपुट करे आकाश दिसी सुधो पसारे.
Slowly relaxing back down now. As we take a few moments to ground, you can inhale and exhale deeply and slowly for a few seconds here, allowing the blood flow to settle down and coming into a plank position as we enter into Matsyasana Dve. You can bring your palms flat onto the ground with your legs extended behind. Bringing your body completely parallel towards the ground. Hips are neither high nor sunken, just going to be straight. Keeping your chin raised as well in the straight line of your rest of your body. You're going to be lowering your body down and up in a dynamic motion similar to what we know as a push-up. Do it slowly if you need. If you need a lower impact version, you can drop your knees to the ground and continue to do it, but keep your entire body straight. Do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a fish, fluid and alert, moving effortlessly through the currents of awareness.
न्युब्जं शयनं कूर्परौ पार्श्वभागायामूर्ध्वं कृत्य हस्ततलाभ्यां भूमिमवष्टभ्य वारं वारम् उड्डानं कुर्यात् मत्स्यासनं भवति.
And relax onto your stomach now. We're coming into the Sarpasana Dve. Place your palms beneath your hips and raise your chest up and start to move from side to side. So you can bend your elbows and place your palms underneath your hips with your elbows facing outward as you raise your chest and move side to side. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a serpent, supple, alert and responsive to every subtle shift around you in Sarpasana Dve.
न्युब्जं शयनं कृत्वा हस्तौ नितम्बं संस्थाप्य पादौ दीघीकृत्य समीलयन् उरसा गन्तव्यं सर्पासनं भवति.
Next is Niralambanasana. You're going to place your elbows onto the ground, hands coming to the Padma Mudra. So little fingers and thumbs are touching and spread the rest of the fingers spreading out wide. You can relax your chin onto your palms, extending both your feet. You can try and touch your feet behind. Do not keep them separated. Keep both the feet joined together behind you as you do the Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha. Remember clenching that perineum constantly throughout the sequence. Visualize yourself suspended in perfect balance, unsupported yet utterly stable, resting in your own awareness in Niralambanasana.
कराभ्यां पङ्कजं कृत्वा तिष्ठे कूर्परया सुधीः मुखमुन्नमुनुच्चायै निरालम्बनमासनम्.
Place your palms onto the ground beside your chest as you push your chest off the ground, entering into the Chatrasana. So you can first push your chest off and then bend your feet, trying your best to bring your feet towards your head. So you're going to get that stretch into your spine here as you try and bend from the lower back area, the mid and lower back area, trying to touch your feet all the way towards your head, leaning back, getting a nice stretch here. Do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Remember to keep breathing. Visualize yourself as an unshakable pillar, fully supported from within.
अध्यासनवस्थित्वा हस्ततलाभ्यां भूमिमवष्टभ्यात् छत्रासनं भवति.
Next is Vajrasana Trini. So now you can get a relaxation for your spine. We are going to be having a couple more intense spine asanas coming up towards the, as we go further deeper into the sequence. So you can relax your spine now, lowering your hips towards your heels. As you lengthen your spine, pressing your palms flat onto the ground. Do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze to your nose, visualizing yourself as a protective umbrella, steadfast and expansive, sheltering your guru from the sun's rays in Vajrasana Trini.
इदानीं गर्भिणीनां योगाभ्यासो यथा लघु सुखप्रसवलाभाय प्रोच्यते प्राक्तनेपति.
Coming up into an inverted V position, pressing your palms and heels into the ground. And from here, we're going to do the Meshasana. You're going to alternate, striking the floor with one hand and then the other. Alternatively, as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, intensely visualize yourself as a strong and fearless ram, horns poised, radiating courage and determination.
गजासन संस्थितौ एकैकं बाहुं भूमौ ताडयेत् मेषासनं भवति.
Now from here we're entering into the Ajasana. So in the Ajasana position, you are going to be bringing your hands onto the ground, kicking your legs up high and lowering your forehead towards the mat. So it's going to be a dynamic motion where you're going to be kicking your legs off and lowering your forehead down towards the mat. Do it carefully. Do not shift your weight too hard onto your hands such that you hit your head on the ground. Do it carefully and within your limits, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as timeless, unborn and eternal, beyond birth and death, permeating all existence.
गजासन संस्थितौ पादद्वयम् अन्तराले कृत्वा मस्तकेन भूमिं स्पृशेत् अजासनं भवति.
And settle down onto your knees. Use both your hands support to bring each foot underneath the hips and then place them on top of your knees, comfortably resting with your spine straight, chest open, shoulders relaxed. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka. You're going to now do a new Kumbhaka where you're going to be slightly contracting the throat. So it's not going to be an external contraction, it's going to be an internal contraction of the throat. Drawing the breath slowly in through the nose, producing the sound of the ocean. Hold the breath within and then release slowly through the nostrils, preserving the same soft sound. Doing the Mula Bandha, gaze to your nose, visualizing yourself as Dhanvantari, the divine healer emerging from the cosmic ocean with a pot of Amrita in Dhanantarasana.
पूरबविधि परिहाता की काकसी स्यौ फनासरा मोड़ी पगा की अंगुली अग्री मेडु लगावे.
The next is Angamottama, the limb extension pose. Now bringing your hands behind your back, clasping them together. You can stretch your hands out as you move your body in all the directions, going down and up, getting a full stretch for the entire torso, shoulders, upper back. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, you're going to do the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Continue to make the sound of the ocean as you breathe, visualizing yourself with extended limbs, immense flexibility flowing through every joint and tendon.
हस्तयो अंगुली भद्वा हस्तयोर्मध्यात् सर्वमंगं निष्कासयित्वा तिष्ठेत् अंगमोत्त angamokšanam bhavati.
The next asana is Garudasana Chatwari. Now kneel with the top of your feet pressing into the mat. As you rest your hips firmly on your heels, bringing your palms to gently rest on your knees, lifting through your spine. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, you're going to continue doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Moola Bandha, gazing to your nose. Visualize yourself as Lord Garuda, majestic and swift, wings unfurled, carrying divine presence with unwavering focus. Just wanted to explain a little bit about the Shambhavi Mudra, which is where you are going to be, even though your eyes are open, your awareness rests deeply within. As we understood, the mudras are all for the purpose of preventing energy leakage. Out of all our five senses in the modern day, we spend 80% of our energy on our vision, constantly looking towards the outer world. What this mudra helps do is prevent that leakage of energy through our eyes and direct it back within us, such that we can use it to manifest our reality instead of getting lost in endless distractions. So what happens is only the information that's absolutely needed for you goes in through the eyes and not the distractions, things that are not needed for you. So that is why we do the Shambhavi Mudra.
जङ्गोरुभ्यां दरां पीड्य स्थिरकायो द्विजानुकः जानुपरिकरद्वन्द्वं गरुडासनमुच्यते.
Now we're coming into the Ananda Mandirasana. You can bring your knees wide apart, heels together behind you. Bring your hands to hold on to the respective shins from behind. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, again remember gently focusing the inner awareness towards the eyes, soft and steady, maintaining alertness without tension. Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Moola Bandha, gazing towards your third eye. So you can shift your gaze towards your third eye, very powerful energy center. Visualize yourself immersed in the blissful space of a temple, still and radiant.
अथ वक्षे वीरनाथ आनन्दमन्दिरासनं यत्कृत्वा अमरो धीरो भवत्येवेद साधकः.
Coming into the Mandukasana Dve. Now, you can reach back with both your hands, holding on to the soles of your feet. Keep your spine tall, shoulders relaxed, doing the Manduki Mudra. Gently focus the inner, where you're going to be subtly moving the root of your tongue, savoring the inner nectar. Doing the Ujjayi Kumbhaka, you're going to suck your stomach in and up into the Uddiyana Bandha, clench your perineum, bring your hands underneath your knees in front of you. Visualize yourself as a frog, alert and adaptable, sensing every ripple and vibration around you in Mandukasana Dve.
पृष्ठं सम्पीड्य गुल्पाभ्यां जान्वङ्गे सवलयाकृतिः हस्तौ पादतले क्षिप्तौ मण्डुकं पाददोषकृत्.
Next is Narasimhasana. Now you're going to be tucking your toes in, sitting back onto your heels, dropping your knees to the ground. You can shift your weight onto your palms as you exhale with your tongue extended outwards like a lion, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Moola Bandha, gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself as Narasimha, fierce and protective, radiating unstoppable courage and divine energy.
अथ नरसिंहासन दोपनापाणि होय वैसे एड़ी मेलर गुदा निवैसे समशरीर नीका ठहरावे नासा अग्र दृष्टि को ल्यावे.
And now we're coming into the Bhishrakasana. The Bhishrakasana is where you're going to continue to sit with your toes tucked, your hips resting onto your heels and your knees wide apart in front of you. Bringing your thumb underneath your teeth, you're going to be doing the Bhishraka Kumbhaka. Cupping the rest of your palms over your nose and mouth. You're going to be inhaling through the right nostril, exhaling through the mouth. Do the Shambhavi Mudra, Moola Bandha. Gaze to your nose, visualize yourself as Devi presiding over any and all of your fears, radiant and unwavering.
दोपगा की एड़ी जोई गोड़ा फना वाना फुनि होई गोड़ा जंग अधर कर राखे आड़े वाह इसी विधि दाखे.
The next is Makadasana, the monkey pose. Now, you can continue to kneel on the ground as you bring your hands in towards your respective armpits, imitating the scratching of a monkey. Gazing towards your third eye, do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi, Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a playful monkey, agile and curious, leaping through space with effortless grace.
दो पग ताली संपुट आने तिनकी पिष्टि भूमि परिताने मूलध्वज
Resolute and radiant, unshakable by external pressures in Vajra Sangharasana.
प्रथम पना पाणी होय वैसे दो एड़ी गुदानि वैसे गोड़ा उभा राखे स्थिर आड़े वाय पसारे धीर.
Now from here we're coming into the Khanjanasana. You're going to now keep your toes tucked and crossed behind you. Crossing the ankles, toes tucked. You're going to be sitting back onto your heels. Crossing your ankles behind you. Place your hands on the ground beside your knees. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, make the sound of the ocean as you breathe. Uddiyana Bandha, sucking in your stomach. Clenching your perineum in the Mula Bandha, gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself having perfect health beyond any and all ailments, radiant and vibrant.
कञ्जनासनमावक्ष्ये यत्कृत्वा सुस्थिरो भवेत् पृष्ठे पादद्वयं बद्ध्वा हस्तौ भूमौ प्रधारयेत्.
Kurmasana now, the turtle pose. Now you can uncross your ankles, keeping your toes flat behind you, knees slightly wide apart, not too much. You're going to bring your hands onto your respective knees, lengthening your spine. As you do the Kurma Mudra, gently focus the inner awareness through the eyes. Visualize all your senses withdrawing like a tortoise within its shell. Ujjayi, Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself as a turtle, stable and grounded, body and mind balanced across time in Kurmasana.
गुल्पौ च वृषणस्यादो व्युत्क्रमेण समाहितौ ऋजुकायश्रो ग्रीवं कूर्मासनमिति ऋतम्.
Next asana is Yogasana. Now, you're going to be kneeling with your ankles. You're going to remain in the same seated position with your hands onto your knees as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi, Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself united with the divine, one with the entire cosmos, and reaching that space through the oneness with your Guru as you cross your ankles underneath your hips in the Yogasana.
गुडं नियम्य गुल्पाभ्यां व्युत्क्रमेण समाहितः.
Now we are entering into Vyogasana. You can lift your hips up and off the ground, balancing on your knees. You're going to be crossing your legs from behind and trying to bring each foot towards the opposite shin as much as possible. Leaning back, keep both your toes grounded for support. Bring your hands onto your respective shins as you lean back, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. You're going to be crossing your heels from behind, trying to bring both the feet towards the opposite shins as much as you can. So you can try to widen your leg stance a little bit and then bring your hands onto the shins. So the four fingers are pointed inwards towards your body. Thumb is back and you are leaning slightly backwards. So you don't have to lean too much, just a bit backwards. For rest, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze to your third eye, visualizing the space of Advaita, eternal oneness, with your Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam.
गोदम्बानो उभौ होई गोड़ा आड़ा राखे दोई नछि पादकै फानी रहावै फनौ वाम गोड़ा दिगिल्यावै.
And next is the Ushtrasana Dve. Now you're going to keep your knees together, feet behind you, and you're going to be leaning back onto your feet with your palms resting on your heels, getting a nice back stretch here. So try to push your pelvis forward. If you need more balance, spread your knees wide apart. Do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a camel, enduring and resilient, traversing vast terrains with patience and persistence.
मेरुदण्डग्रन्थिदार्ढ्य सम्पिपादयुषुः पुमान् कपोतोष्ट्रासनाभ्यासं कुर्यान्मितहिताशनः.
Slowly relax. The next asana is Jati Asana. So here we are going to now be from your knees. You're going to sit kneeling with your heels touching beneath the soles of your feet onto the ground behind you, leaning back. As you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, gaze towards your navel. Visualize yourself as a lotus in full bloom, rooted in stillness yet effortlessly unfolding toward the light.
जतियासन दो एडी संपुट करे सोले मूल द्वारि तरि धेरे फनाम पानी उकड़ होय बैसे बहुरी पृष्टि दिसी करौ जु ऐसे.
Next is Viratasana, the magnificent hero pose. So this is going to be a dynamic motion. You can lay onto your back and lift up in a dynamic pose. You can use the support of your elbows if needed, but you can also try to do this asana without supporting your elbows onto the ground. Use your momentum to help you as you go up and down in this dynamic motion, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, gaze to your navel, visualizing the healing and liberation of all subtle and causal forms of your body, radiant and free in Viratasana.
जंघो पृष्ठे भूमौ निधाय जंघोदरयो उरुणि संस्थाप्य पृष्ठे वंशं वारं वारं स्पृशेत् विराटासनं भवति.
Next is Kapotasana. Here, now you're going to be doing this a back bend, a very, very deep back stretch asana. You're going to first raise up onto your knees, and then you're going to be lifting your hands over your head and lowering your elbows onto the ground behind you. And you're going to be lowering your hands all the way onto the ground, behind you onto the ground. So it's going to be your knees and your elbows are both going to be flat onto the ground, touching behind you. As you get this back stretch, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as a beautiful pigeon, serene and graceful wings unfolding with elegance.
मेरुदण्डग्रन्थिदार्ढ्य सम्पिपादयुषुः पुमान् कपोतोष्ट्रासनाभ्यासौ कुर्यान्मितहिताशनः.
And slowly relax, coming back up into a seated position. Take a few deep breaths to settle. See, for these advanced asanas, even if you feel like you cannot do them, you feel that they are difficult, they're impossible, try it. Just do it as much as you can. And hold it over there. So from there, you will be able to get a deeper and deeper stretch, going step by step into the asana and being able to go deeper and deeper. So you can attempt to do this asana. Here, now coming into Varasana. You're going to be seated, kneeling, keeping your toes lightly tucked, crossing your arms in front of your chest. Keep your chest open, shoulders soft. You're going to be raising up onto your knees And doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, keep the toes untucked behind you, Mula Bandha. Lightly you can tuck the toes. So you're not going to be fully tucking the toes, you can tuck them lightly. Doing the Mula Bandha, visualize yourself receiving the boon of your wish from Paramashiva, eyes open and receptive.
जानुनी भूमौ संस्थाप्य हस्ताभ्यां बाहु परस्परं धृत्वा सरलं तिष्ठेत् वारासनं भवति.
The next asana is Varahasana Dve. Now, continue to kneel on your toes with your knees close together. Bring your elbows down onto the floor. Interlace your fingers, cupping the back of your head. You're going to be lowering your hips gently onto your heels as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, the Ujjayi Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a bird, fierce and determined, rooting through obstacles with precision and strength. Bring your forehead entirely towards the ground, bringing your palms around the back of your neck. In Varahasana.
सूर्यं चन्द्रं भेदना आसनानि कथ्यन्ते. कूर्परौ भूमौ स्थापयित्वा जानुभ्यामवनिमवष्टभ्य हस्तौ मस्तके संस्थाप्य पार्ष्णीनितम्बे संस्थाप्य तिष्ठेत् वराहासनं भवति.
And next is Mundasana. Now we are going to be doing an headstand position. Here you're going to now be interlacing your fingers and bringing your head onto the ground as you lift your feet up towards the sky fully into an inverted position. Doing it extremely carefully. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself as a lopped tree, stable and resilient, surviving despite loss and adversity in Mundasana.
अधो मुण्डासनं वक्षे सर्वेषां प्राणिनां सुखम् ऊर्ध्वमार्गे पदे दत्त्वा धारयेन्मारुतं सिद्धिः.
And now coming into Andhasana, you're going to now keep your heels underneath your perineum, relaxed as you sit back onto your heels and bringing your elbows beside your knees, palms over the ears, bringing your forehead to the ground. Do the Shambhavi Mudra. You're going to sit back onto your heels. And do the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Inhale deeply through the nose, holding the breath comfortably. Do the Mula Bandha. Gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself entering profound darkness, calm and alert, embracing the unseen with confidence.
प्रथम पगताली सम ठहरावे कोर माहुली उभे मिलावे फना पानी उकड़ कर वैसे दो एड़ी गुदानी वैसे.
And now laying flat onto your stomach as we enter into the Viparita Shalabhasana. So you're going to be laying flat onto your stomach, keeping your hands and legs extended out. You can keep your hands extended straight forward, legs extended straight behind. And on the inhale, you're going to be lifting your whole body off the ground, balancing only on your stomach. So neither your hands nor your feet are going to be on the ground. You're going to be balancing solely on your navel. Shambhavi Mudra, Ujjayi Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a locust, agile and resilient, leaping and adapting across diverse terrains.
शलभासन भेदाश्च नटवेरुण्ड नामके गण्डवेरुण्ड सहिते शीर्षदण्डासनं तथा.
Now coming into Kapalasana, you can bring your forehead onto the ground. You can bring your palms resting beside your hips, palms facing towards the floor. Now, you're going to be lifting your legs up and off the ground as high as you can. As you balance here, you're going to do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha Japa, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. As you visualize yourself as a skull representing a mind purified of distraction, sharp and unwavering.
कपालं भूमौ निधाय ऊर्ध्वं पादौ नयेत् कपालासनं भवति.
The next asana now is Akasha Kapotasana. So this asana is going to be an advanced asana. So I'll be showing all of you first once how to do this, and then I'll be guiding you into this asana. So this asana is where you're going to be getting it's a spine flexibility as well as a spine strength asana. So you're going to lay onto your stomach and palms are going to be extended behind, flat onto the ground beside your hips. You're going to kick your legs up and off the ground to lower your feet towards your head as much as you can. Okay? So if you have any necklace, chains, kantamala can be moved out towards the side such that it doesn't hurt your neck when you do this asana. So this is how you're going to be attempting to do the asana. What you can do is take a partner support to support your legs and lift yourself off the ground. So when you come to the flat position, what you can do is, if you have someone who is around you, what they can do is to support your legs. So bring your chest flat onto the ground and bring your palms facing backward beside your hips. Shift your weight up, lifting your hips first. So what you can do is lift one leg at a time. So one leg first up, and your partner can hold on to that leg, and then you can lift the other leg up as well. Doing the Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as a free and open dove, serene and luminous.
उष्ट्रासने स्थित्वा चरणौ भूमे उत्थाप्य मस्तकोपरि नीत्वा पृष्ठप्रदेशेन भूमौ स्थापयेत् आकाशकपोतं भवति.
And slowly relax down. Very nice. Beautiful. Now we're coming to Chatakasana, which is also a counter pose for this Akasha Kapotasana. So you can rest your forearms onto the ground, relaxing your spine a little bit as we do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. You're going to be visualizing yourself as a sparrow, alert and swift, responsive to subtle movements around you in Chatakasana.
कूर्परपर्यन्तौ हस्तौ धरामवष्टं भजानो नाभौ संकुञ्च्य तिष्ठेत् चटकासनं भवति. The next asana is Vrishchikasana Dve. We're going to be starting by placing the elbows on the ground in front of you and slowly walking your knees forward as you kick one leg at a time, such that you bring it behind you. So the way we're going to be doing it is finding the slight balance when you kick the leg and bring it behind you. You're going to be finding the proportion such that the balance as a proportion such that you're able to hold yourself on your elbows.
So what you can do is, you can keep your chest parallel to the ground. You're going to be bending from the spine when you lift your legs up. So you can take the support of a wall or of a partner to support your feet and lift one leg at a time and hold here, trying to continue to keep your chest parallel towards the ground. As you lift up, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, you can try to lower your feet towards your head as much as you can. Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha, visualizing yourself as a scorpion, resilient and patient in the Vrishchikasana.
वृश्चिकवत्पूच प्रथमां ग्रीवपार्ष्णे धृत्वा श्वशीर्षचिबुकं विधार्य यत्र इति सन्तिष्ठति साधकवस्त्वं विशावहं वृश्चिकसंयमासनम्.
And slowly relax. Take a few deep breaths again now, settling your breath. The next asana now we're going to be entering into is the Vrishasana. So this is now we're going to be seated, where you're going to be kneeling with your right heel beneath the perineum and the left foot comes out to the side of your left hip. Ankle turned outward. Place your palms on the ground beside each of your knees, slightly leaning forward, but keep your chest broad, shoulders out as you do the Vaishnavi Mudra. Antarangaka Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. The Antarangaka Kumbhaka is where you're going to be drawing the breath in fully and strongly, holding it for a brief moment and then exhale, and then continuing to inhale in one smooth, subtle cycle. Visualize yourself as a bull, powerful and steadfast, radiating strength and grounded presence.
याम्यगुल्फे पादमूले वामभागे पदेतरं विपरीतं स्पृशेद् भूमिं वृषासनमिदं भवेत्.
Now coming into Lolasanam, the swinging pose. You're going to place your palms on the ground beside your thighs from a kneeling position. Lean forward, engage your core, lifting your knees away from the floor. You can cross your ankles lightly behind you for support. Vaishnavi Mudra, Antaranga Kukumbhaka, Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a bull, strong and steady, swinging with controlled power and grounded presence.
लोलासनं सदा कुर्याद्वायुलोलापघातनात् स्थिरवायुप्रसादेन स्थिरचेता भवेत् धृतम्.
Relax now. Let's repeat the Vrishasana on the other side. So now you can keep the left heel underneath the perineum. Right heel comes outside of the right hip. Palms grounded beside the respective knees. Continue doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, Antaranga Kukumbhaka, Mula Bandha. The Antaranga Kukumbhaka again is drawing the breath in fully and strongly, holding it lightly, then exhale, then continue to inhale in a smooth, subtle cycle. Visualizing yourself as a bull, calm yet potent, each swing harmonizing body and breath.
याम्यगुल्पे पादमूले वामभागे पदेतरं विपरीतं स्पृशेद् भूमिं वृषासनमिदं भवेत्.
Now coming into the Balagunasana. Now you're going to be sit with your left toes pressing into the ground and your weight resting firmly on your left heel. Bend your right knee, placing the foot flat on the ground beside the chest, knee upright. Press both your palms on the respective knees, lifting your spine tall as you do the Vaishnavi Mudra, Antaranga Kukumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as Balagunahai, radiant with Siddha energy, wisdom and mastery in Balagunasana.
आसन कौगुण जल विकार जाई.
Now you can come onto a squat position as we enter into Grahasana, both the feet flat onto the ground. You're going to be bringing your hands from around your knees to wrap around from inside out and hold on to your respective ankles. Doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, Antaranga Kukumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as the entire planet Earth, vast and sustaining, holding life with stability and abundance.
पादतले भूमौ संस्थाप्य जानुमध्ये कूर्परौ स्थाप्य हस्ताभ्यां गुल्पप्रदेशं धृत्वा तिष्ठेत् ग्रहासनं भवति.
Now we're repeating the Balagunasana on the other side. You can this time bring your left knee up to the chest as you sit onto your right toes. Palms resting on the respective knees. Keep your spine tall, chest open. As you do the Vaishnavi Mudra, gently focus the inner awareness through the eyes, soft and steady, maintaining alertness without tension. Antaranga Kukumbhaka Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as Balagunahai, luminous and steady, embodying Siddha wisdom and effortless mastery.
आसन कौगुण जल विकार जाई.
Next is Utkatasana. So now in the Utkatasana, you're going to come into a squat with your toes and heels lifted and your Resting your hips gently onto your heels. Place your palms in front of on top of your knees, extending your hands. Place your palms on your knees, keeping your spine tall. As you do the Antaranga Kumbhaka, Udyana Bandha. Doing the Udyana Bandha, suck your stomach in and up, clenching your perineum. Do the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself in chair pose, grounded and unwavering, energy rooted deep into the earth in Utkatasana.
युजास्पिजो स्थित्वा ऊर्वजानुयुक्तासने पादतलद्वयोपरि स्निग्धाभ्यामन उत्तरकन्दरान्यम् अस्पृश्य पीठं स्मृतिमुक्ताख्यम्.
Next asana, Vajra Sanghasana. Now, similar position, you're just going to be opening out your knees towards the side wide as you clasp your hands behind your back, holding the opposite elbows. Keep your chest broad. Vaishnavi Mudra, Antaranga Kumbhaka, and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as part of an indestructible spiritual community, unified and radiant, each member's presence reinforcing the whole.
प्रथम पना पानी होय जैसे दो एड गुदा निवैसे गोडा उभा राखे तीर आड़े वाय पसारे धीर.
Now coming into Anilasana, you can keep your feet slightly wider than your hips, bending your knees into a squat as you place your palms flat under the soles of your feet with your elbows pressing inward near the navel. Straighten your arms to lift your chest tall as you do the Vaishnavi Mudra, Antaranga Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze to your nose, visualize yourself living off of air alone, serene and self-sufficient, absorbing life force effortlessly from surroundings in Anilasana.
दो हाथ भूमि पर ताने कहूनी जादी नाभिलग आने फना दो ऐसे विधि करे पिष्टि हस्ते ल्याकी परिधेरई.
Now coming into Padukasana, the sage's sandal pose, you're going to now be holding onto your feet with both your hands bringing your hips down. You can take your palms, place them backwards onto the ground and then step your feet completely onto your palms. Like your palms are going to be imitating your footwear. Do the Vaishnavi Mudra, Antaranga Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualizing yourself wearing padukas, walking across India with steady steps and across the length and breadth of Bharat with steady steps and unwavering purpose.
हस्ततलयो पादतले कृत्वा तिष्ठेत् गच्छेत् पादुकासनं भवति.
And from here now, we're going to be moving into the Kukkutodana. This is going to be a dynamic pose. You're going to be bringing your palms onto the ground as you kick your legs up and down in a dynamic motion. The key here is to make sure both your feet travel up and down at the same time. So it's not going to be one leg at a time, rather it's going to be you kicking up both your feet simultaneously. Do the Vaishnavi Mudra, Antaranga Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a rooster, alert and vigilant, sensing the dawn with precision.
हस्ततले भूमौ कृत्वा पादतले च ऊर्ध्वम् उड्डानं कृत्वा भूमौ पतेत् इत्थं पुनः पुनः कुर्यात् कुक्कुटोढनं भवति.
Now we're going to come into the Viparita Nrityasana. So in this asana now, we're going to be doing the handstand position again. So I request all of you to please do it very, very carefully, where you're going to be moving yourself in a dancing like position. So what you can do is, if you want to just do it in a lower impact version, in the sense you're not able to hold yourself completely upside down, you can go down as much as you can. Hold yourself there for even if it's a brief second. You can hold yourself there and then relax back onto the ground. going down and up. And you're going to be moving your legs in the same position. Hands are on the ground and your legs are raised up towards the sky, and you're going to be balancing that. And dancing. So put your palms flat on the ground, lift your legs up towards the sky and balance there, and moving your hands around in all the direction, moving your hands and feet in a dancing like motion as you do Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself free, unbound and expansive in Viparita Nrityasana.
हस्ततलाभ्यां भूमिम् अवष्टम्ब ऊर्ध्वपादाग्रे कुर्वन् हस्ततलाभ्यां नर्तनं कर्तव्यं विपरीतनृत्यं भवति.
Next, we're going to be doing the Kunjarasana. So now you're going to be standing with your feet shoulder width apart, placing your one palm firmly onto the ground as the other palm comes up towards the ear. You can place your feet wide apart, so you can slightly step your feet like a foot apart, and you can do this asana as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and the Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as an elephant drinking water, steady and deliberate, every movement rooted in patience and strength.
अथ वक्ष्ये महादेव कुञ्जरासनमुत्तमं करेणैकेन पादाभ्यां भूमौ तिष्ठेत्.
The next asana is Kunjarasana on the other side now. So you can lean forward and down, holding your left palm this time towards the ear as the right palm extends forward, doing the Sahaja Kumbhaka. Sahaja Kumbhaka Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a majestic elephant, grounded and steady with calm awareness radiating in all directions.
अथ वक्ष्ये महादेव कुञ्जरासनमुत्तमं करेणैकेन पादाभ्यां भूमौ तिष्ठेत् शिरः करः.
And next, coming into Kadambasana. Now you're going to be seated into a squat position. You can bring your hands to your ankles, holding them firmly from the outside, and lift onto your toes with your heels off the ground. But still keep your chest lifted. So do not keep your chest against your thighs. Keep your chest lifted and your body tall as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a sacred Kadamba flower, golden and fragrant, blossoming with round radiance upon a secluded jewel island.
पार्ष्णभ्यां भूमिमवष्टभ्य हस्तद्वयेन गुल्पौ धृत्वा तिष्ठेत्. कदम्बासनं भवति.
The next is Pavana Muktasana, the wind release pose. Now you're going to be sitting, legs bent, bringing your knees towards your chest. Wrap your hands around your knees, hugging them in. Drawing your thighs close, keep your spine upright. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, gently focus the inner awareness through the eyes. Soft and steady, maintaining alertness without tension. Sahaja Kumbhaka, deep inhales and exhales. Doing the Mula Bandha, visualize all excess vata releasing, flowing gently and harmoniously through your system.
पवनमुक्तासन द्वयोस्तु पादयोः पाणिं लब्ध्वा स्वस्तिनितम्बके जानुनि वक्षसि सातु ब्रह्मातिकरबन्धनैः.
Now coming into the Chakorasana, the partridge pose. You're going to be sitting with one leg lifted behind your neck as much as you can. You're going to be placing one leg behind your neck as much as you can. Pulling it to rest behind your neck. And you're going to be and lifting yourself off the ground as you balance on your palms, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze to your third eye. Visualize yourself embodying the serene balance of the partridge in Chakorasana.
पूर्वतानं च दुष्पातपीठं वज्रासनं तथा चकोरक्रोञ्च शलभ भुजङ्गानपि वृश्चिकम्.
Coming into the Dhanurasana Dve, now you're going to bring both your hands to the respective feet, pulling one foot back towards your ear. So you can pull your left foot back towards your ear as your right foot remains extended. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as Shiva's bow, coiled with immense tension yet perfectly balanced, radiating latent power.
पादाङ्गुष्ठौ तु पाणिभ्यां गृहीत्वा श्रवणावधि कर्षकाकृष्टं धनुरासनमीरितम्.
Now we're going to come into the Ashtavakrasana. So now you're going to be bringing one leg over your shoulder. So you can bring your right leg over your right shoulder and then cross the left leg on top of the right. Slowly lean forward onto your palms, lifting your weight and stretching your legs out towards your side. Do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as Sage Ashtavakra, embodying fearless wisdom that transcends physical appearance.
एव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
And next, coming into Pranasana, slowly relax. Now you can bring one foot onto the opposite thigh and the other planted firmly on the ground. Slide the grounded legs shoulder underneath your bent knee, pressing the palms into the mat for lift and support. Your other hand rests on the knee. Do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze to your third eye. Visualize yourself as immortal, sustained entirely by prana, untouched by decay or limitation in Pranasana.
एतत् प्रभेदं वक्ष्यामि करोति यः स चामरः एकपादमुरौ बद्ध्वा स्कन्धे अन्यत् पादं रक्षयेत्.
Next is Parshvamatsendrasana. Now you're going to bring your left hip tucked under your hip, right foot placed outside of the left thigh. Wrap your right arm around the outer side of your bent knee and clasp your hands behind your back. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze towards your third eye. Visualize the great sage Matsyendranath, founder of Hatha Yoga, radiating wisdom and mastery within your inner space.
अथ मत्स्येन्द्रासनं वामोरुमूलार्पितदक्षपादौ जान्वोर्बहिर्वेष्टितदक्षदोर्ष्णा प्रगृह्य तिष्ठेत् परिवर्तिताङ्गः श्रीमत्स्यनाथोदितमासनं स्यात्.
And from here now, as we enter into the Chakorasana, you're going to now be bringing the opposite leg. So we're going to repeat this sequence on the other side. So this time you can bring the other leg behind your neck. So last time if you did the right leg, this time doing the left. Last time if you did the left, do it this time doing the right behind your neck. If you cannot bring it fully behind your neck, place it as high over your shoulder as you can. As you place your palms onto the ground and extend the other foot forward, lifting off the ground as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha. Gaze to your third eye. Visualize yourself as a powerful source of energy, radiant and unbounded, emanating strength in every direction.
पूर्वतानं चतुष्पादं पीठं वज्रासनं तथा चकोरक्रौञ्चशलभं भुजङ्गनपि वृश्चिकम्.
Now coming into the Dhanurasana Dve, you can bring your hands onto your respective feet, pulling one foot in Dhanurasana Dve.
पादाङ्गुष्ठौ तु पाणिभ्यां गृहीत्वा श्रवणावधि धनुराकर्षकाकृष्टं धनुरासनमीरितम्.
And one foot comes over the opposite elbow as we enter into Ashtavakrasana. You can hook the foot and lean forward, lifting your weight off the ground, extending your feet towards the side, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as Sage Ashtavakra, embodying deep, fearless wisdom that transcends physical appearance.
वासिष्ठमदकौण्डिन्यं मूर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Now moving into the Pranasana, sit tall, the opposite foot this time on the thigh, the other leg planted firmly on the ground, sliding the grounded legs shoulder underneath the bent knee, pressing the palms into the mat for lift and support. Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as immortal, sustained entirely by prana, untouched by decay or limitation.
एतत् प्रभेदं वक्ष्यामि करोति यस्य चामरः एकपादमुरौ बद्ध्वा स्कन्दे अन्यत् पादं रक्षयेत्.
Now coming into the Parshva Matsyendrasana, you can twist your body. So sit with the right heel tucked under the right hip, left foot placed outside the left thigh. Wrap left leg placed outside the right thigh. Wrap your left arm around the outer side of your bent knee and clasping your hands behind you. Shambhavi Mudra, Sahaja Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, gaze to your third eye. Visualize the great sage Matsyendranatha, founder of Hatha Yoga, radiating wisdom and mastery within your inner space.
अथ मत्स्येन्द्रासनं वामोरुमूलार्पितदक्षपादौ जान्वोर्बहिर्वेशितदक्षदोष्णा प्रगृह्य तिष्ठेर्परिवर्तिताङ्गः श्रीमत्स्यनाथोदितमासनं स्यात्.
Now you can stretch your one leg forward while the other foot rests against the perineum, knee relaxed. You're going to now fold your torso over your extended leg, grasping onto your big toe with both your hands. Doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, here we're going to again move back into the Jivachala Kumbhaka. Inhale using the power of your mind, forcefully direct the prana through all limbs of your body, upward and downward. Mahamudra Bandha, clench your perineum, suck in your stomach, bring your chin to the chest. Visualize yourself lengthening into the half Paschimottanasana stretch, spine extended like a flowing river.
एकं पादं प्रसार्य एकं पादस्य पार्श्विना शीवनि सम्पीड्य हस्तद्वयेन प्रसारितपादाङ्गुष्ठं धृत्वा जानुपरिमस्तकं न्यसेत् अर्धपश्चिमतानं भवति.
Next asana is Kraunchasana. Now you can switch your legs, you can bring the foot that was at the perineum to come outside of the hip as you hold on to your extended foot, and now you're going to lift it upward, trying to bring the knee towards your forehead as much as you can. So you do the Vaishnavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a crane, graceful and alert, standing tall with poised balance.
वासिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Let's now repeat the Ardha Paschimottanasana on the other side. You're going to now be leaning forward over the opposite leg, doing the Vaishnavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mahamudra Bandha. Visualize yourself lengthening into the half Paschimottanasana stretch, spine extended like a flowing river.
एकं पादं प्रसार्य एकं पादस्य पार्श्विना सीवनी सम्पीड्य हस्तद्वयेन प्रसारितपादाङ्गुष्ठं धृत्वा जानुपरिमस्तकं न्यसेत् अर्धपश्चिमतानं भवति.
Now moving into Kraunchasana, as you bring the leg outside your perineum and extend the other leg forward, Vaishnavi Mudra, Jivachala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a crane, graceful and alert, standing tall with poised balance.
वासिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Coming into a seated position now as we enter into Swastikasana. You can sit with both soles. Each foot is going to come between the thigh and the calf of the other foot. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Jiva Chala Kumbhaka. Mula Bandha, rest your hands comfortably on your knees with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Visualize yourself radiating peace, prosperity and well-being as you gaze towards your nose in Swastikasana.
जानुर्वोरन्तरे सम्यक् कृत्वा पादतले उभे ऋजुकायः समासीनः स्वस्तिकं तत्प्रचक्षते.
And coming into Ghorakshasana now, you're going to keep both your feet on top of the opposite thigh, soles turned upwards. As we bring our hands to hold on to cover the feet with your palms. So you can spread your palms wide apart and cover the soles of both your feet in the Padmasana position. Both your feet are coming onto the opposite thighs and you're going to cover the soles of your feet with your hands. Keep your spine tall. Shambhavi Mudra, Jiva Chala Kumbhaka. You're going to tuck your chin in towards your chest in the Jalandhara Bandha. Visualizing yourself as Ghoraksha, the protector, embodying the steady strength of mountains and ancient rivers, gazing towards your nose.
जानुर्वोरन्तरे पादौ उत्तानौ व्यत्क्रसंस्थितौ गुल्पौ चाच्छाद्यहस्ताभ्यामुत्तानाभ्यां प्रयत्नतः.
Now coming into Bhagasana Dve, you're going to now continue to keep your legs in the same position. You can bring your left heel towards the perineum, right foot onto the opposite thigh. So one foot down, the other foot on top. Bring your hands into the Bindu Mudra with your index and thumbs joined on top of your knees, keeping your spine straight as you do the Jiva Chala Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Gaze towards your third eye. Visualize the radiant sacred space of creation, yourself in the Bhaga womb of the very cosmos. So now we're going to do the Shanmukhi Mudra. You're going to be bringing your thumbs to close your ears, your index fingers over the eyes, your middle fingers closing the nose, while the other two rest near the mouth. Blocking the sensory gates as you hold your breath here. Hold and then release as is comfortable in the Shanmukhi Mudra in Bhagasana Dve.
वामपार्श्वयुग्रं स्थाप्य दक्षिणाङ्घ्रिं वामजङ्घने मध्यमान्तरजङ्घ्याङ्गुष्ठितैर्नासादृष्टिक्रमात् स्थितिः.
Next asana is Yogasana Dve. Now continuing to keep both your feet onto the opposite thighs into the Padmasana position. You're going to be bringing your hands
Place next to your knees, palms facing upwards.
as you bring your palms onto the ground beside your knees. To a tubular like shape. Inhaling through the passage of your tongue, hold the breath and then exhale. Doing the Kakachancha Kumbhaka, Mula Bandha, gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself dissolving into your Guru Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, uniting into his cosmic divine presence in Yogasana Dve.
उत्तानौ चरणौ कृत्वा संस्थाप्योपरि जानुनोः आसनोपरि संस्थाप्य चोत्तानं करयुग्मकम्.
Now moving into the Urdhva Kukkutasana. Bring your palms beside your thighs and push yourself off the ground to hold, hovering above the ground as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Kakachancha Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. One thing you can do, if you're not able to fully lift this, you can bring your feet behind your elbows. So you can bring both your toes behind each elbow of the hand, and that will also help you to balance as you hold yourself off the ground. Visualize yourself as a rooster standing tall, proud and fierce, announcing the dawn of spiritual awakening.
वाशिष्ठमतकौण्डिन्यम् ऊर्ध्वकुक्कुटमेव च अष्टावक्रमतोत्थानं मयूरं सेतुबन्धनम्.
Now coming into the Siddha Haratali Asana. Continue to keep your legs in Padmasana. You're going to be inserting your hands through the gaps between your legs, resting your palms flat onto the mat. So you're not lifting up over here, you're just placing your legs, palms flat onto the mat here. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra. Remember to continuously do the Kakachanchukumbhaka. Inhaling through your tongue and exhaling through your nose. Moola Bandha. Visualize yourself adorned with a celestial garland of light woven from the blessings of a countless siddhas in Siddhaharatali Asana.
प्रथमं पादम् आसनकोकरे हस्तौ गोडासन्धिधरे उभे हथेली भूधरि राखे पहचो गोडासन्धि में धाके.
Now you're going to be lifting off the ground. So you can bring your palms onto the ground. Try to lift your knees up all the way above your elbows as you shift your weight onto your palms and lift up off the ground and hold there, doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Kakachanchukumbhaka and Moola Bandha. You're going to gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself as a swan rising above Maya, gliding over the still waters of consciousness in Hamsasana.
कुक्कुटासन स्थित्वा स्कन्दपर्यन्तम् उरुणी नीत्वा तिष्ठेत् हंसासनं भवति.
Now coming into the Karmukasana. Bring your hands from between the gaps of your thighs to come behind you now. So you're going to be bringing your hands, interlacing the fingers behind you as you bring your forehead onto the ground. As you do the Kakachanchukumbhaka and Moola Bandha, do the japa Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Visualize yourself as Shiva's bow, radiant and unyielding, channeling immense energy with unwavering focus.
प्रथम पद्मासन कोकरे गोडासन्धि माहि करि धरे तरफ दूसरी कर दो आने कोन्या उपरी संधि ले ठाने.
Now we are going to be coming into the next asana, which is Kurmasana Dve. So now from the Padmasana position, you're going to be bringing your hands from underneath your thighs to wrap onto the opposite shoulders. So it can come around your neck. So if you're not able to do it fully in the Padmasana position, you can place your legs in the Ardha Padmasana with one foot onto the opposite thigh and bring your hands coming across to the opposite neck to wrap around towards your neck. Doing the Kurma Mudra, withdrawing all the senses inward as you do the Kakachanchukumbhaka and Moola Bandha. Visualize yourself as a turtle, deeply grounded and serene.
बामी जंग परि दक्षिण पावे दाहिनी जंग परि बामी ल्यावे पहलिया अमसर गाले हाथ.
Now coming into the Granthi Bhedasana, we're going to be doing the not breaking pose. So in the similar position, you're just going to be doing the Jalandhara Bandha this time. Bringing your chin in towards your chest as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Kakachanchukumbhaka. Continue to clench your perineum. Gaze towards your nose. Visualize yourself rejoicing in Shiva's secret knot posture, rooted and secure in Granthi Bhedasana.
अथ वक्षे नीलकण्ठ ग्रन्थिभेदासनं शुभं ज्ञात्वा रुद्रो भवेत् क्षिप्रं सूक्ष्मवायु निवेशयेत्.
Now lay onto your back, continuing to keep your hands wrapped around your neck as we enter into the Uttana Kurmasana. So here we are going to be doing the Kurma Mudra, Kakachanchukumbhaka and Moola Bandha. As you gaze to your nose, visualize yourself as an upward rising turtle lifting from the waters with poise and balance.
कुक्कुटासन बन्धस्थं कराभ्यां धृतकन्दरं पीठं कूर्मवदुत्थानमेतदुत्थानकूर्मकम्.
Next is Pangu Kukutasana. Now with your arms underneath your thighs and calves, you can come up to a seated position. Shifting your weight, you're going to bring one hand to hold on to the opposite hand wrist as you lift off the ground. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Kakachancha Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a rooster, vigilant and commanding.
कुक्कुटासने स्थित्वा एकेन हस्तेन अन्यस्य मणिबन्धं धृत्वा हस्ततलेन भूमिं विष्टम्भ्य तिष्ठेत् पङ्गुकुक्कुटं भवति.
Shift your hands around. Now you're holding on to the opposite hand with the other palm as we enter into Pangu Kukutasana on the other side. Doing the Shambhavi Mudra, Kakachancha Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a rooster with a lame leg moving with effort yet unwavering vigilance.
कुक्कुटासने स्थित्वा एकेन हस्तेन अन्यस्य मणिबन्धं धृत्वा हस्ततलेन भूमिं विष्टभ्य तिष्ठेत् पङ्गुकुक्कुटं भवति.
Now relax, slowly bringing your hands out from between your thighs. Continue to keep your legs in Padmasana. Interlace your fingers into the Parashu Mudra. As you rest your elbows onto the respective thighs, your knees, your chin resting on top of your interlaced fingers as we enter into Giridrasana. Do the Kakachancha Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha. Visualize yourself as a vulture soaring high above the world with keen awareness.
एतस्याङ्गुष्ठयोर्मूले कूर्परे संनिवेशयेत् परिवर्त्य करौ स्पृष्ट्वा अङ्गुलीतलगोपिताम्.
From here, coming into the Padmasana Trini, you're going to now continue to keep your legs in the Padmasana position as you keep your palms upturned on your laps. Both your palms facing upward can relax onto your lap as you do the Shambhavi Mudra, Kakachancha Kumbhaka. Keep your spine tall as we enter into the Mahamudra Bandha. You're going to be inhaling through your tongue and exhaling through your nose, clenching your perineum, sucking in your stomach, bringing your chin to the chest in the Mahamudra Bandha. Gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself seated in Padmasana, embodying the sacred lotus, symbol of purity, spiritual awakening and detachment.
उत्तानौ चरणौ विधाय विधिवत् सक्षिस्थितौ योगिरात् उत्तानौ स्वकरौ च शक्ति युगले अन्ते साधु कृत्वा समौ.
Next is Padmasana Chatwari. You can bring your hands onto the respective knees, relaxing the Mahamudra Bandha. This time you're only doing the Mula Bandha as you do the Shambhavi Mudra and Kakachancha Kumbhaka. Continue to inhale through your tongue. Gaze to your nose. Visualize yourself in Padmasana, the lotus throne of yogic power, rooted in earth yet reaching heavenward.
एतत् पद्मासनं कुर्यात् प्राणवायु प्रसिद्धये शुभासनं सदा ध्यायेत् पूरयित्वा पुनः पुनः.
Coming into the Karmukasana Dve. Now you can bring your right hand to hold on to the right toe as you push your left hand onto the left knee and rotating the toe in all the directions. Then you can switch over to the other side as well as you do the Prana Mudra using your index, middle and thumb fingers to wrap around your big toe. As you do the Kakachancha Kumbhaka and Mula Bandha, visualize yourself as Shiva's bow in Karmukasana, the divine instrument of cosmic will, representing strength, focus and righteous action.
अथान्यासनमावक्ष्ये योगपूरकरक्षणात् कृत्वा पद्मासने पादौ अङ्गुष्ठजङ्घयोः स्थितौ.
Entering into our last asana for the day, Mritasanam. Lay on your back with your feet slightly wide apart and your palms facing upward. Completely relax as you do the Shakti Chalana Mudra. Focusing on the Mooladhara, contract the perineum in the Mula Bandha to rouse the dormant Kundalini. Drawing the Apanavayu downward breath upward with intent, holding the energy and intention firmly inward. Visualize your soul rising free from the limitations of the corpse body, guided by the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, in Mritasana.
उत्तानं शववद्भूमौ शयनं तु शवासनं शवासनं श्रमहरं चित्तविश्रान्तिकारणम्.
Slowly start to move your hands and feet as you feel the life energy entering your body, rocking up into a seated position. Congratulations! All of you have successfully completed today's Nithyananda Yoga sequence, a full sequence of 100 asanas. Hope all of you had an amazing breakthrough. Do post in the comment section how your experience of today's Nithyananda Yoga session was, where you would like further guidance, and we will definitely help you there. And now we are going to be having the Rudrabhishekam offering starting in just 1.5 hours. We request all of you to join for that as well, followed by the Shastra Adhyayana, reading of the sacred scriptures as part of the Chaturmasya Vrata celebrations. So you can join for that as well. With this, we're going to now be offering our gratitude at the feet of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, and ending with the Purna Mantra. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं भगवत् श्री नित्यानंद परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु ॐ नित्यानन्दम्. Let's all bow down to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam, in deep gratitude. Thank you all, Nithyanandam.